Okay guys, here we are online from table number 13 at El Mariachi is Wrestle Talk. Let's see what's going on tonight.
It's that time once again. Good evening and welcome to Wrestle Talk, the hottest show on YouTube right here on the Agenda Video YouTube channel. I'm your host, Joe Lawson, joined by the ever-popular Dave Jones. Yeah! Dave Jones, good evening. How was your Christmas, Dave?
Man, I tell you what, it was a great thing there. I did better than some friends of mine, at least, you know. I got a few presents there, and, a couple of presidents even.
Well, you know some folks. I heard a couple people even ask you to play Santa Claus. I don't know if that was true, but
no, it was just giving out the presents. I didn't get to have a beard or nothing, you know. It's like I lost my beard thanks to Jerry Thunder.
I kind of wonder how that was going to happen with you losing your beard with the Pink
all them
Panther.
Goons.
Yes. Well, it's certainly been an interesting Christmas season here at Wrestle Talk. And with all of this that we've had happen the past few weeks, it's been wacky, wild, crazy, just random stuff. And speaking of which, Rowdy Ronda was here last week. All of you fans seen her. And Rowdy Ronda has been hard at work with all of these investigations. And Dave Jones, she's investigated a lot of stuff recently.
She sure has, and I tell you what, we are going to get to find out from her. She just sent me a message that she is ready. She's going to come on live.
I see her right here, right now, yeah.
And are you ready? We'll go to that.
I'm ready. We're going to go live to Rowdy Ronda.
Hey guys, it's Rowdy Ronda with the WIA, and this is Wolfman William. And how you doing today, Wolfman? Good. Wolfman says he's doing great, and I'm excited to be here myself. But we're giving you some updates on some of the stuff that we've been working on. Now, we have done a lot of DNA cross work, and we've been in our labs, and we've come up with quite a bit of information, haven't we, Wolfman? Exactly. Wolfman's sentiments actually says that he thinks that what we have found is a link to what has been going on. Now, the DNA that is on the plane matches some other DNA. But we'll get to that in just a minute. We first want to start with the Christmas cards that was handed out at our last episode. The Christmas cards are handed out. There was fingerprints found on the envelopes which belonged to Jerry Thunder. Isn't that correct? All right. So, with it belonging to Jerry Thunder, we dug a little deeper, just wanted to make sure that all of the evidence was in place, because we do not want to accuse someone without having all the evidence. Isn't that correct? All right. So, we done DNA all the way down to the cards, and we scraped down through the cards, and it was a different DNA inside the cards. There was no fingerprints of Jerry Thunder inside the card, only on the envelope. But inside the card had a different DNA that did not match Jerry Thunder's at this time. Now, we do not have any DNA from Jerry Thunder, which we are going to try to get from him to do some cross matches of things in a later time. But we did find out that the DNA in the cards matched DNA that was on the plane. Isn't that right? Yes, the DNA that was in the cards matched DNA that was on the plane. Now, as we all know, the plane was owned by Miss Jonas herself, and her fingerprints and DNA was all over the plane. And as Wolfman sniffed it out and found a lot of clues on this plane, he found out that there was not only in the mask, but in the plane was DNA that matched Miss Jonas. Isn't that right? So, which brings us to the conclusion, which it was a 50% match on that, which makes that it has to be a child of Miss Jonas's that wears that mask that was left on the plane. The two DNAs that was left on the plane also matches Miss Jonas's herself as a 50% match, making her a parent. Isn't that correct? Now, to find the father of these two individuals that matches the card DNA and the plane DNA, and then we may find out who it was. It may be the masked people that delivered the cards. At this time, we will need a DNA sample from them which we'll be working on. Now, Joel, if you could help us with this for the future thing, even if me and Wolfman has to come along with a few of our other optives to get this DNA, we'll be more than happy. But right now, as we are working on the bowling balls, we have cut one of the bowling balls completely in two, and inside the bowling balls, we have found a substance that is being transported. We will not disclose at this time what that substance is. It has not been released. It's not right. Now, until we can release this substance, we cannot put a light on what's going on. But we want to we do not want to accuse before we have full evidence of all ways. Now, Wolfman was just telling me just the other day that he also found on this plane, he found a footprint. Once we found that footprint, we was able to x-ray the footprint, do a copy of it, do a mole, and we are looking for this shoe as we talk. And we'll be giving away those information on that later on to Dave Jones. That he can deliver to you, because Dave Jones has been sworn in as a go-between for the WIA and the Wrestling Federation. Now, Wolfman, do you have anything to add? And? Yes, I agree with Wolfman. He says that what we need to do is make sure whose side you are on, because we're coming for you. And Jerry Thunder, I also have a message for you. Wolfman, what is it? Okay, that's exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself. Wolfman said, we have optics that are now in place coming for you, Jerry Thunder. We'll be taking you down. Pink Panther and all your little masked cahoodlins, minions there, will be brought down to justice, but we will have evidence to do so. We'll see you later. Got anything else to say, Wolfman? All right. As Wolfman said, bye.
Well, Ronda was live there, Dave Jones. I can't believe we had a connection or a feed. I don't know exactly how you do that, but that's pretty cool.
Undisclosed area there somewhere. No telling where in the world she was, but she found out that was some pretty eye-opening information.
It certainly was, and she was certainly in a disclosed location because, of course, the WIA and all that stuff's working on it, but we're going to kind of find out exactly what's happened here. So.
That was very important there. One thing she said, I'm a member of the WIA.
You're a member of
Jerry Thunder finds that out.
WIA, so...
I'm the liaison here, so anything. I wrote these points down there. I hate to... This part's just terrible there. Jerry Thunder did deliver those Christmas cards.
Yeah, I believe that. I believed it as soon as we got them.
But Jerry Thunder's fingerprints and DNA were only on the outside of the envelopes.
Really?
Only on the outside and not on the inside. So that means people on a plane, and some very other interesting information here. The cards came from somebody that was on the plane. And you remember those masked guys?
Yeah.
Those guys were on the plane.
So we only had a 12-passenger plane, a jet, right? So
that jet that they brought in, and they were smuggling some stuff. So I'll get into that later. But here's the killer, this Dave Jones.
Dave Jones. That sounds like quite the attractive type.
Now, Rowdy Ronda, I gotta hand it to her. She is doing some good work here.
Oh,
it's
yes.
Phenomenal what she's doing. She has come up with the DNA from those guys. They were on the plane, the masked guys. The masked guys' DNA was also on the cards, the inside. That's where Jerry was not. He did not touch the cards that went into the thing, and he only delivered those to us.
You know, I can't believe some of the stuff that Rowdy Ronda has uncovered about Jerry Thunder. I mean, I thought Jerry Thunder was from right here around this area, but there's a lot on him, and he's famous everywhere.
I think he's been down some of them other countries down there where they... Now, the bowling balls, I mean, there are actual real bowling balls. Did you You saw one, didn't you? Didn't you?
I did see one.
Did you have one of those?
And
or something?
I believe that we have our hands on one of those bowling balls, and so we're gonna see one of those bowling balls. The bowling balls, of course, is what's being used to smuggle whatever they're trying to smuggle into.
Well, let me make that part clear. That is not known at this time.
Is not known, yes.
Not known at this time what it was. There's a substance. I think Rowdy Ronda knows what it is, most likely, but she's got to be sure. So we're waiting to find out that information. I'm going to be the liaison, so I'll be able to help translate what's going on. I'll probably know it first before anybody else. But you know, the important thing is that we'll be getting that information from her. If not directly like this, you know, I'll relay it, but we'll be getting some. And you know, we'll have plenty of stuff coming up, and I've got some more stuff I'll get to you here later, and we'll go over it. So.
Well, you know, I can't believe that you ended up being a subject in this investigation, and you end up working for the WIA. How in the world does that happen, Dave Jones?
Just lucky, I guess.
Wow.
You know, I've known Rowdy Ronda, and that as a matter of fact, I worked with her before the you know, some of this other stuff there. There was a movie from way back, you know. I was instrumental in some of that stuff, not all of it, but you know, I've been working with her for quite some time. But now, we got a friend. You seen him, actually, I think you talked to him some today.
Oh, yes.
Let's,
Phineas. And you know what? He looks very familiar to me, and I don't know where he looks familiar from.
Rowdy Ronda said she's got some leads on his DNA and some of that stuff. But I heard you talk to him. You got some very interesting information. We'll go over that, and I'm going to come out with it, you know, and talk some more about some of the stuff that's going on with Jerry Thunder and all that stuff. So, anyway, you want to go to that interview? And I heard there was a music video that was involved with it.
We're going to go to that interview with Phineas, and of course we're going to see this music video that he was referring to. And you guys, if you don't see someone that looks familiar, just let me know. But I think I see someone who looks very familiar with this interview. We'll be right back in just a moment on Wrestle Talk. Hello, wrestling fans. This is Joe Lawson, and we are here at El Mariachi in Maynardville, Tennessee. Last week, you saw a special interview with our Snoop, Rowdy Ronda, but this week I'm here, and we have Phineas Parchfield. Phineas Parchfield.
Finny Parch, that's good enough.
Finny Parch. I can call you Finny Parch. Welcome back to the show. And, of course, you were here last week with Rowdy Ronda. Rowdy Ronda dug and got a lot of information, but something that she was not really able to find out is you're married? You have a wife?
I was married. I was married to a real nice woman. Susan Rose, her name, and she was a redhead, you know how to. Well, you know, she's real nice, her, but we got married, and then, dang, she went on a honeymoon without me, dead burn it. I was looking forward to that.
Without you?
Yeah, she just took off.
A honeymoon, right?
Yeah.
Just
she had
got
a great
married?
time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, I kept my dog. I still have my dog in my truck back in. I kept him. We had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Just me and him at the house there. It was all right. A lot of barking. We did a lot of barking.
Well, would you had more fun on the honeymoon or with the dog?
Well, she wouldn't hunt now. Susan was you know, she left me. You know, Rowdy Ronda come around and she was around, and she read a whole song about the whole thing, what went down and all that.
Really?
But anyhow, I mean, now me and Susan were still close. She sent me. Look here, she sent me a Christmas present. Now, who would do that? Now,
it's a Christmas stocking here. Let's see.
I ain't sure what these things are here, but she sent me a whole bunch of them.
Wow, this is very interesting. I believe, Mr. Parchfield, I believe this is coal. Coal. Who would send you coal? Why would she send you coal?
To keep me warm in the winter.
To keep you warm.
She's always thinking ahead. She was a sweet girl, but she she left me at Rowdy Ronda. She wrote her song about it, and Dad burned it, and it took off my dog and my truck.
Well, I feel sorry for you, and of course we've had this song that's been written. So, what's it all about?
Well, I'll tell you what. You know, the best thing on that is that what Rowdy Ronda, she's the one that done all that junk, and so I just let her show you. She wrote a video thing about it, and we standing around there, and his dad burned this thing, but you know, we had to. She just took pictures of us doing stuff that we normally do in our life there, and explained the whole story. Then that woman left me, and I was like, Dad burned it, and she took my truck. That's why I had to go out to that JV place and buy another one there. Load it for a piece of plastic too.
Well, it sounded like that you had a sad situation going recently, especially this song. It goes into all those sad situations, right? And then, of course, you had your car. And by the way, how's the truck? You have a brand new white pickup truck. How's that?
I sold that thing.
Did you sell it?
I sold that thing for $1,200.
Well, it ran, and
Oh,
you let us know
it
that
started
it ran.
right up. Are you kidding? I drove out of that thing. I give him a piece of plastic with my name on it, and he's like, "It's yours, buddy." And now that Miss Vicky, I liked her. She
Yeah. Well, JV Auto Firm will take care of you. Most
sure
certainly.
will. But anyhow, you know, instead of me telling you all that junk there, let me show you that video that Ronda, she was shouting at him, pointing and saying, "Go over there and then holler that, and then do it again, say the exact same words." And I said, "I don't know what I said in the first place, damn it. Well, I've got to say it again." But anyhow, so we did a bunch of that. So.
Well, we're going to go to this video from Rowdy Ronda right now here on Wrestle Talk.
JV. Buttercup, bring me a drink. Woman, bring me a drink.
You could have been sweet, you could have been nice, but you chose to drink beer all night. You act like a jerk when it all runs out, and then you swing and start to shout. Your anger comes quick, your temper is fast. Want you to know this time is your last. You grabbed me so hard, now I shed my last tear. Now I won't stay, I'm out of here. Got my makeup on, my phone starts up. Now say goodbye to your buttercup. I'm so out of here, this time we're done. My makeup is on and I'm gone. cup because I'm gone. Bye.
She's gone. She took my truck and my dog. I'm gonna miss that dog.
Now you can't tell me that Phineas, I think I'm saying his name right, doesn't look like someone very familiar. Here
I think
Wrestle Talk.
it's certainly a coincidence. You know, he's a funny guy. I mean, I'd met him at one of those shoots there. What about that music video? You know, you saw that kind of crazy thing.
This poor guy, he's been through so much, and this woman has put him through so much, and then she had the audacity with this music video, and I'm like, what in the world? I mean, I feel terrible for this guy.
I mean, yeah, well, you know, he had his dog, and he had a truck, and he got married. They went on some kind of honeymoon that he didn't even get invited to the honeymoon, so she went on off by herself. But her name's Susan Rose. Now, she is seriously a very good musician and great singer. Light show artist. She does, you ever heard of Rango?
Oh, yeah.
Star?
Yes.
Guy that played for the Beatles. She does all the lights for his shows all over the world. She follows him wherever he goes. Gets paid real well for it. And anyway, I don't know how Finny got involved with her, but you know, they had that whirlwind romance, I guess, and then just like that, she was like, "You're out. I'm gone. You're staying here. I'm gone."
So fans, he wants you to refer to him as, of course, his nickname, Finny Parch. Finny Parch. So, and of course, I mentioned that he kind of looks familiar, but in no relations to who I think he looks familiar to, really. I really believe that, so.
He's looking familiar because Parch, that name, Virgil Parch, wrote the Big George.
Yes.
That cartoon series, that was the guy, so that's probably what you're thinking of there, getting that thing, so.
Well, we certainly look forward to hearing more from Finny Parch. Of course, he's been seen here on Wrestle Talk in the JV Auto Firm commercial, and of course, he was very upset about the Jeep that he had, so he traded in for a truck, and that truck is working for him, of course. And then this poor guy, he gets married, but doesn't even go to the honeymoon. His wife goes to the honeymoon on her own, so fans will hear more from Finny Parch as the weeks roll by. But anyways, what a night it's been so far here on Wrestle Talk. Of course, we were referring to Miss Rowdy Ronda, and last week she had the one and only, he's the one and only I know of, Wolfman William here.
Now that guy, I mean, he came over and there's Jerry was like, Jerry
Thunder, speaking of bad guys, Jerry Thunder, you have these guys with you that appeared here last week, and we have no idea who these gentlemen are. We tried to speak with them last week, and they wouldn't answer us. They were rude.
No.
Rude.
They just talk when I tell them to.
Yeah. Well, Jerry Thunder, you have some explaining to do to these fans and to the powers that be at Wrestle Talk. And of course, we saw Rowdy Ronda from this undisclosed warehouse, and she gave us all this information on this private jet and who was on it, about some kind of bowling ball issue, and of course all these characters that you've brought here recently. And you have a lot of, as Ricky Ricardo would say, some explaining to do. Jerry Thunder.
Don't worry about them. They won't do anything unless I tell them to.
Are they going to talk tonight? How are you? They're not going to talk to me.
He's fine.
Yeah. Well, Jerry Thunder, as I mentioned before, so many investigations. Man, I only knew you from right here in this area. I didn't know you had a worldwide reputation going on, Jerry. What in the world's going on with you?
Well, that falls under the need to know. If I thought you needed to know, I'd tell you.
That WIA is going to find out. That's what's going to happen.
That's a government agency, so they're going to find out.
That's right.
And he's also with the CBA.
Yeah.
Crybabies Alliance.
Oh, give me a break.
But I tell you what, Dave Jones.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. You impressed me the other night.
Really?
Yeah, you just finally showed your true colors as a weasel.
Weasel. Oh, weasel.
And you figured out how
Not a
to cheat
weasel.
your way to a victory. Brought in outside interference.
I didn't bring that in. That thing just barged
Well,
in and started eating
speaking of
tacos. I was like,
Wolfman or Rover or whatever he is, you know, he was brought in. They brought him from down under the bridge down here at Knoxville, one of the homeless
Under
guys.
the bridge.
Yeah, promised him a steak or something to eat. And what'd you just do? Feed him dog food or something? I'm gonna tell the guy, if he wants to run with a real group that'll feed him well, he will get his steak and baked potatoes and whatever he wants.
Don't listen, Wolfman. And he's part of that Rowdy Ronda crowd.
I do give you the credit of being sneaky enough to pull that off. I am very impressed.
I didn't have anything to do
You
with
better
that.
watch out. We have this.
He's wanting an autograph.
He's looking at you like a dog's dinner, so I don't know.
Oh, this guy's wanting on.
Oh, he's already been fed. He ate good a while ago.
Jerry, I was eating. You saw me. I was trying to out eat.
He ate really fast.
It was just I was way ahead.
I saw that hen do that wave right there. I saw that hen pop up. Do that wave to bring Rover in or Wolfman or
Now,
whatever.
hold on. Really?
Yeah. Watch the video.
I wasn't waving anybody in. I was jamming those tacos in my mouth as fast as I could get them.
Yeah, waving.
It was this. It wasn't waving.
Are you sure he wasn't waving for more tacos?
Yeah, I was trying to get tacos
He
down.
didn't eat 3 of them. I ate 3. He only ate 2.
Wolfman.
That's outside interference. That should have been disqualification.
You got to talk to.
If that had been me,
Seggy.
I'd have been
Seggy
disqualified.
did it.
Would I have not?
We'll have to talk to Seggy later.
We don't need to talk to Seggy or Scooby or anybody.
Scooby?
The truth is, if that had been Jerry Thunder, he'd have been disqualified.
Well, speaking of that, Jerry Thunder, it has been confirmed by Rowdy Ronda that you, Jerry Thunder, filed a complaint with the powers that be at Wrestle Talk concerning last week's taco eating match winner, which is of course Dave Jones. His hand was raised in victory by Say He. And of course you had your commissioner, Adrian Hernandez, there. And Adrian saw what happened, of course, and he ruled that Dave Jones was the winner. But you claim that you were cheated out of the victory because Wolfman Williams helped Dave Jones by eating one of his tacos. Now, how do you know that Wolfman Williams just wasn't hungry for tacos? I mean,
I just told you they brought him out of Knoxville from under the bridge down there and promised him something to eat, and he didn't get anything to eat, so he grabbed the taco and ran.
He came with Rowdy.
After he was waved in to come and get it.
JoJo, you seen that? He came with Rowdy Ronda. He didn't leave with us. He was with Rowdy Ronda.
well, it has been confirmed also that Wolfman Williams was with Rowdy Ronda last week and that he was hungry for tacos.
He might have been, but if you promise a dog a bone, he'll follow you around.
That's true. But it has not been confirmed that the Wolfman Williams had anything to do with Dave Jones or his part in this match. And that has been our final description on this investigation.
Like
is that
I said,
Dave Jones...
I give him credit for being sneaky and conniving. He's got some potential there.
Right, yes. We need to change seats because these interesting characters you have here are scaring me, they're scaring Dave Jones, they're scaring everybody in the restaurant.
And we found... Well, I'm not going to say
They
it
don't
now.
scare me.
Found out some information on those guys.
And we found out some information, of course, and Dave Jones has been trying to tell me this since you've been here. And but anyways,
Tell him to open his mouth and
Rowdy
tell it.
Ronda has uncovered the truth, or hopefully the truth.
She might have uncovered the truth as she made it up.
Their DNA matches that of Jones.
So last week, I've just been informed, let me explain this a little bit. These two guys' DNA has been matched up to the DNA of that of Dave Jones. And how did we get their DNA? Well, these guys last week ate quite a bit of rice and beans here at El Mariachi. We took the fork, Rowdy Ronda had it investigated. Their DNA absolutely positively matches that of Dave Jones. Now, who Dave Jones is, I have no idea.
Well, that doesn't really concern you who she is or he is, or the fact is, he wrote checks to us. I don't care what you say about the Davon Jones or whatever that name is.
It's spelled the same, but totally different, and it's a woman,
See, you done
female
proved how
type.
sneaky and conniving you are.
Me? What? Huh?
So, the cat's out of the bag on you. So.
I'm not conniving.
Hey, we're watching you.
Not sneaky.
You know, some people, whenever they're sneaky and cheating and conniving, they like to blame it on other people, and I believe you're doing that right now.
I haven't blamed it on anybody. I'll give him credit for pulling that victory off.
They're pointing at you, Joe.
And we have
Joe,
these
what's
guys
Joe
pointing at
doing?
me. What in the world is going to happen? This guy has red pupils and red eyes, and this guy has green pupils. What in the world did you
felt
bring
good.
these guys from?
No,
Over
don't do it
in
again.
Bull Run? Where in the world did you find these guys? Come on, Jerry.
Down under.
Parch down under. Anyway, what in the world? Hey, that hurt a little bit. Come on now. Well, wrestling fans, Jerry Thunder and Dave Jones are face to face just 7 days after their taco eating match. And last week, Dave Jones, you were declared the winner of the taco eating match. Your hand was raised by Say He. Congratulations on your victory. You know, I had faith in you. Right before the match, I saw Jerry Thunder's teeth kind of slip out, and I didn't know if he'd had trouble or not eating those tacos.
That's how he did it. He had he pulled them out and he was double chewing. You were double chewing. So what about that?
So you guys are face to face now, and he said you were double chewing and gumming and everything else. So how in the world did you have
That's
any
two.
kind of strategy in this
That's
match?
two. Wolfman was my second, I guess. So
See, there you go. He admits it.
he came over and grabbed a taco. I couldn't stop him. What was I supposed to do?
I ate 3 tacos. He ate 2.
That guy was probably a
decision should be
werewolf.
reversed. I should be the winner.
Well, Jerry Thunder, unfortunately, on my phone just now, I received confirmation that last week's match signed under contract. This, of course, taco eating match, first of its kind among professional wrestlers and announcers. But included in the contract, it says that this match would have the same stipulation as a no disqualification clause that would take place in a regular wrestling match. So this means that an outside interference would not affect the result of this match. And I don't know exactly if you had anything planned. I don't think Dave had anything planned. I really don't think that much is going on upstairs. But anyways, I don't think he had much planned. And what was your plans for this match? I mean, you're face to face with Dave Jones. He's the victor.
My plans was to win.
Yeah.
But, that always don't happen the way you want it.
Well, eat
And
a
but
little
you're trying
harder.
to say he didn't have enough sense to...
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that
That's-
at all. I
That's
didn't
what
say
it sounded
that.
like to me. It sounded like you was trying to say that he wasn't smart enough to pull that out by himself.
I had no control over the Wolfman. He's a werewolf. There's been a full moon for like a whole month, so he's grown all kinds of hair now. I mean, heck, I can't do anything about that kind of stuff.
Now, you might as well call Wrestle Talk the poster child for interesting and strange characters, because we've had them on here on Wrestle Talk.
Yeah,
And,
you have. You had some strange characters.
Pink Panther. I mean, it's the Pink Panther's fault. Dave Jones's beard is
Dave Jones,
gone.
he's not going to bother you unless I tell him to.
Listen to him, or don't listen to him, or I don't know.
And you have these.
Oh, there's a dog with a bone. Go grab
You
it.
have these goons
Yeah.
up here, and they're with you tonight. And these are part of your gang. We know you're part of that rap gang.
We don't
out
have
here,
a gang. We are a coalition of professional wrestlers across the world.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Here in Tennessee, it's the chapter of the Tennessee Thugs.
The Tennessee Thugs. So these guys are a part of the Tennessee Thugs.
Yes, they are.
And do they speak? Will they speak? What do they have to say?
They'll have to say what I tell them to say when I want them to speak to you.
Well, Jerry Thunder, if I know you the well as I know you, we're going to be waiting on that for a while.
You might not.
Well, these guys are dangerous, and so are you.
How do you figure?
Because they're
They're just standing there minding their own business.
picking and hitting on Dave Jones
Yeah,
over
he was
here,
like-
and they're
That don't feel good, does it?
looking at it. It hurts. It hurts a lot, as a little boy in England would say. It hurts a lot. So, hold on, Jerry
Look,
Thunder.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
So we're in the middle of El Mariachi right now. Come on, and you're getting a personal
laser beam
back
in this
rub
thing.
here. What in the world's going on? Jerry Thunder, you're a gangster if there ever was one. You're the head of some kind of conniving scheme government thing going on, and WIA is investigating you. Dave Jones has read all the information.
Listen,
and
read it all.
people's tried to
I feel
investigate
terrible
us
for
for
you.
many, many years.
Yeah.
And their investigation starts, then it fizzles right out.
We need some protection in here from this
Why?
6 foot, 7 foot tall mammoth of
Nobody's
a
going to hurt
person
you.
here.
This is a legitimate talk show, and they won't bother you. They're just having a little fun.
I'm scared to death, wrestling fans. Jerry Thunder, you brought your goons in here tonight. Of course, we learned the details of these Christmas cards. Dave Jones and I, we have no one here to help us right now.
No,
You don't need any help. I told you, nobody's going to bother you.
I think I
But
got
I
an
will
appointment
give you
over
a
here
warning.
somewhere.
There's going to be a full-blown takeover here soon.
A takeover?
All the thugs are going to be here.
Well, we'll certainly see that day when it happens. Jerry Thunder, you had your goons join us here tonight, and we're going to try to see if we can't get out of here alive with our skin on. Wrestling fans, we'll be right back right here on Wrestle Talk. Dave, where are you going? Dave is sneaking out. We'll be right back. Dave is running across the restaurant here.
You're on your own.
Hey, buddy. You tired of messing around with that old punk of junk?
Heck yeah!
Are you tired of throwing money and wasting it away on parts that just won't fix it?
Heck yeah!
Why don't you run on down to JV Auto Firm down in Madisonville, Tennessee?
JV?
JV, they got some awesome cars down there, great prices. Only thing you have to do is call you a tow truck, get down there right now. You see it, you try it, and then you buy it.
Hey, is this JV? Come get me. JV.
Hey guys, it's Rowdy Ronda. I'm out here in Massville, Tennessee, right off of 411 Highway. I'm at JV Auto Firms and 411 Automotives. I'm so excited to be here today. Tell you about all the great deals. You eye it, you try it, and you buy it.
I'm so glad you choose this little white 09 Sierra. You're going to be so happy with this thing. And if you've got anybody else, send them on out here. We got stuff ranging from 29 all the way up to 5,900. And we got higher end stuff like this 15 Murano Platinum Edition.
All I like is I can take this and right now.
It's yours, buddy.
Oh, thank you, Miss Vicky. That had burned. Oh, so bad. It started up.
You'll be real happy, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestle Talk, and Dave Jones is coming back here. Dave Jones climbed under the table and climbed clear plumb across the restaurant here. Dave Jones, you were running
Blew my
away
knees out. Well,
from...
gosh, Joe, didn't you see those guys? Or
Yeah.
what the heck they were?
They were poking and pranking at Dave Jones here, and he certainly was ready to get out of here with these guys. Jerry Thunder, of course, he was provoking this behavior from these guys.
You saw that. You saw that. I mean, everybody saw that. And, I mean, you know, wrestling fans, you can comment on how you want to with the, you know, the Wolfman eating a taco. I don't think that was a big deal, good grief. But, I mean, to bring those motionless, monsterless, or I mean, those talkless wrestler or whatever they are, and intimidate us like that, that was uncalled for.
Well,
Good Lord.
there's only one other time that I've saw you run that fast and run under a table.
On my
and
knees, too.
Of course you remember that, but Dave Jones, I'm glad you're safe now. We are safe of Jerry Thunder, and we're safe of his goons, thank goodness. And I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're back here on
See, I
set.
didn't even get to the best part on that thing there. We got more talk about bowling balls and stuff. I'm a part of the WIA, so I probably could have arrested those guys. I don't know. I got to talk to Rowdy Ronda and see what the deal is on that. But
Well, I believe you have all the authority that those people have. I really do.
I'll usurp it if I can. The masked guys. Now I don't know if they know that or not, but I'm pretty sure it was a close enough match that Rowdy Ronda was saying Dave Jean is maybe their mother.
Yes.
That's what I was getting from that. What she was saying there. I mean, you know, DNA is when you have such a high match, you know, when it's unless Dave Jean is their father, but you know, and could be even both. I don't know.
And of course, as you mentioned earlier, Jerry Thunder's DNA was only on the envelopes. It actually was not on the cards. The DNA of these young men were on the cards, and this DNA, I believe, we were told was collected last week from a fork that they used here at El Mariachi to eat their rice and beans. So this fork has uncovered a lot about these guys and who they are, and this Dave Jones, of course. And I believe that we were informed last week that something could be happening with the bowling ball. I'm not sure about that, but I took it upon myself today to look into what are some of the things that we've received recently. And Dave Jones, here recently, and this is kind of heavy. Let me lift it up here. This is kind of heavy, my goodness. This is, let me put my fingers in the hole. This is a bowling ball, Dave Jones. And this is my size bowling ball here. I can stick my fingers in there.
We don't know where they were hiding this stuff. Rowdy Ronda's not found out there was a substance. I think she knows what it is, but there was a substance being smuggled, I guess, inside of these things.
We have the holes here. I mean, Dave Jones, this is an ordinary bowling ball, and this is a bowling ball of question, of course, and I just don't see how that can happen. I really don't.
Well, I've never smuggled anything besides that Playboy magazine. Sorry, Mom, but you know, that was when I was 20. I mean, 10.
Yeah.
18.
You started young.
Somewhere. Yeah. Anyways, you know, I didn't been involved with smuggling very much, but I couldn't believe they were just smuggling bowling balls into the States to begin with, but now there's something inside the bowling balls most likely, so there you have it.
Well, it certainly is possible. We have a bowling ball. It's kind of heavy here. We're going to put it down. Oh, Dave Jones, sorry about your foot there. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Wrestling fans, it's been a wild week here on Wrestle Talk. Speaking of wild, Rowdy Ronda received a shocking video. Now, this video was filmed at the Allen Witt Community Center in Maryville, Tennessee. Of course, this is the home of many historic wrestling events, Dave Jones. You and I have worked there quite a bit. But there was a particular wrestling show that we talked about a lot. It's called the RWA, the Revolutionary Wrestling Alliance. And there was a big, huge mammoth of a wrestler that was here. And so to explain it all, we're going to go to this video right now to explain exactly what happened. We'll be right back. Check out this video. Dave Jones, you saw it here on this video. So you have this mammoth of a wrestler, long hair. He's about 6'2", weighs about 200, 300 pounds. Who in the world was this guy?
You know what? Let's ask. I think I've got an idea, but let's ask the man himself.
Jay Diddy is joining us here. Jay Diddy, welcome to Wrestle Talk tonight. Varsity Wrestling, right on. Jay Diddy, you're seen in this video.
Seen in this video. Sorry, I'm at WIA. It has me. You know, we're checking out everything.
Yes, and Jay Diddy, you are yelling at this mammoth of a wrestler. I mean, this is a big guy, and you're putting your fist up in the air, kind of arguing and fighting. What's up with that, Jay Diddy?
Well, you know, the guy ticked me off.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I believe that.
I've seen some despicable acts when it comes to professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done a few despicable acts, let's just be honest. But for a guy to come out to the ring dressed as Santa Claus, then he ripped his mask off, beat the snot out of another wrestler, and then made the little kids cry. When you make kids cry, that really ticks me off, okay?
So it could have been anybody. It could have been any wrestler that ticked the children off, and you would have went after them like you did, right?
Yeah, and it's a good thing that those little security boys were there. Or Tom Coffey, your butt would have been mine.
Tom Coffey?
Tom Coffey. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Tom Coffey.
Tommy Coffey. Sometimes
Tom
was
Coffey
Iron
from
Bear.
the Iron Bear.
Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Tom Coffey. Tom
OVW
Coffey.
wrestler.
Ronda, you need to look into that.
Well, I knew that he looked familiar in that video.
Ronda's been talking about.
Rowdy Ronda has been mentioning Tom Coffey here lately, and receiving this video that we received from a fan of all people,
Right.
showing your distaste and your hate for him, of course, during this event. That is certainly going to open up an investigation for us here to see exactly. And you mentioned, of course, that he made some children mad, and you're just the type of person that when somebody makes a child mad, you take care of business.
Yeah, because I don't like it when you make little kids cry, especially, because they were cheering, they were loving him because they thought he was Santa Claus. Well, then he came out there to make the count in some kind of Santa Claus weapons match thing. He counted 1, 2, and then he stopped. He took his mask off, and I was like, I remember him. I had an altercation with him at an ECB show a few years ago, and I rammed his face into a garage door.
Yes.
So there's a past there anyway.
Well, Jay Diddy, we saw this video. We've heard from you tonight, and we have more updates that will happen, of course, with this. Of course, there's an ongoing investigation from the WIA and the powers that be here at Wrestle Talk. But we know that and we trust that you were doing the right thing, right, Dave Jones? We trust that you were just sticking up for the kids.
I'm surprised at Iron Bear, man. He's, I don't know. All these guys have many sides, and Rowdy Ronda knows him, so it's just.
Could there possibly be a match at some point between you and Tom Coffey? I'd hate to see him hurt you so bad. No offense intended. I mean, I don't know.
Big guy.
Well, let me tell you something there, JoJo. You've known me a long time, right?
I have, yes, sir.
You know, one of my philosophies is, if it's a fair fight, I didn't plan it properly. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I could use a bearskin rug in my house.
Oh my goodness. Well, wrestling fans, you heard it from Jay Diddy. This somewhat explains this mysterious video we received on our Facebook page. But there's more to come. There's more to uncover with this story. And speaking of which, Jay Diddy, thank you for joining us tonight here on Wrestle Talk. Dave Jones and I have enjoyed it. And we are glad you're here because we know we're going to be protected when we go outside tonight.
Absolutely.
Don't leave right away.
Wrestling fans, we'll be right back in just a moment with more right here on Wrestle Talk. Dave Jones, we're back here on Wrestle Talk, and it's been a night here. It's been a crazy, wild, and wacky night. It's been wild, real wild, as you're touted for saying very often. But Dave Jones, Wrestle Talk each week has only been getting more interesting, and the fans that watch Wrestle Talk, we appreciate that. All of these stories, all of these scenarios, all of these things have come from our Big Daddy Boo Memorial event, which took place back in October. A lot of these things that we're referring to, have talked about, happened at that event. In particular, of course, Brandon Stone. He was the manager of Big Mouth Mike Ogle, and of course Trip and Charles Long. And Brandon Stone is interrupting us again. Joining us again at this time here on the Wrestle Talk set. Brandon Stone, welcome back here to Wrestle Talk. And we've heard about your cheating and conniving and all that stuff the past few weeks. But we also undiscovered and found out the truth behind a lot of things. So a lot of things he mentioned to us a couple weeks ago was actually the truth.
I don't know what. Yeah, I gotta hand it to him. Yeah, he didn't lie.
I'm surprised, Brandon Stone, big time. And then, of course, you and I have known each other for years. And you've told the truth and you've told some lies. And I never shoved the lies in your face. But anyways, Brandon Stone, welcome back to the show. Earlier in the week, I noticed that you posted a photo of you and Brody Cage. Brody Cage, of course, the longtime partner and former co-tag team champion with Brandon Stone. And is he coming back? Are you making plans for some reason with Brody Cage?
You never know what plans I might have up my sleeve, and it could very well be that we come back and destroy people like we've always
Destroy?
done. Anybody steps in our way gets destroyed.
I've seen that happen a few times, Brandon Stone. And Brandon Stone, I've been informed by the producers that next week here on Wrestle Talk that you and I will be in a Wrestle Trivia contest. We got 2 questions. Whoever answers the questions correctly wins a $50 gift card here to El Mariachi. How's that sound? That's a pretty good deal.
You're in a trivia contest. How come I had to jam a bunch of tacos in my throat?
I don't know how I get in the good stuff, but Dave Jones I believe, is going to be helping host that and wrestling trivia. And I challenge you, Brandon Stone. I'm going to win that $50 because that'll buy me a lot of tacos here at El Mariachi.
I've never stepped away from a challenge before in my life.
Well, Brandon
This is
Stone,
going to be amazing.
Dave Jones here, of course, has stepped up to every challenge, including that taco eating match. You saw him. What was your thoughts on that taco eating match last week?
See, you all paint the portrait of us as cheaters.
Yeah.
Well, in a taco eating contest, usually the winner eats the most tacos.
Yeah.
He only ate 2.
Yeah.
My man ate 3.
Yeah.
That was
So
explainable.
really, who wins?
I mean, Shaggy was the man over that. I don't know what he said when he said, "Here's the rules," and I was like, "Okay, well,
That's what
we'll
I
do
heard
that."
right there.
And then Heck Fire, if he said he just help you. That's what he said. He help you, and
You see
that was
Dave? He's just shoveling, and he's.
Dave
Then here
Jones.
comes this Wolfman, swoops up a taco.
Dave Jones munched up them tacos real quick,
I
and
was a
He
fast
did,
eater.
2 of them.
well, Brandon Stone, of course, if you would have been in that contest, the things would have been different, of course. But Brandon Stone, Dave Jones won fair and square the victory. Say he raised his hand high in the air, and he was the winner. But who knows in the future? Who knows what will happen here on Wrestle Talk? Thank you for joining us tonight, Brandon Stone. And I could say good luck with the wrestling trivia because I know quite a bit. I know quite a bit of wrestling trivia.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes.
And I'm gonna work with Dave Jones because he knows more than I do.
I do.
So, and I think he has connections. But anyways, wrestling
Right
fans.
here in my pinky. It's real smart.
Brandon Stone, thank you for joining
Great
us tonight.
things coming. You just stay tuned to what I have in store.
In store for who? For me?
Maybe you, maybe Dave. Could be everybody.
Well, you never know what's going to be in store with Brandon Stone or Stoned or whatever it is. But we'll be right back.
Joel, I want to do one more segment when we come back, if you don't mind. I know you're wrapping it up and all that stuff, but I want to talk to my driver tonight. That's
Yes.
all right.
We're going to talk to Dave Shriver. We need to find out if we're going to be protected and, of course, so many other things. But Brandon Stone, of course, as you always say,
It's been your pleasure.
it's been our pleasure, Dave Jones.
I admit, yeah,
I guess that's true. And Dave Jones, it's always our pleasure, right?
that's right.
We'll be right back right here with this special interview with the driver right here on Wrestle Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Wrestle Talk at El Mariachi in Maynardville, Tennessee. Dave Jones, it's a great pleasure to have your driver here tonight, Alex. Alex, welcome to the show. He's a stout fella right here. Yes, he's a big guy, and he's bigger than Jerry Thunder and Brandon Stone put together. He might be taller than Brandon Stone. I don't think he's bigger than he is. But
He's definitely taller. He's taller than me and you, and
yes.
he used to be you, and now he's not. But anyway,
That's the good old days right
That's-
there. Yeah.
he's my drive. He does drive, but he's my son. So
Yes, well, Alex, welcome to the show here on Wrestle Talk, and we'll go into some of those memories, of course, from way back when. But you're a big guy, you drive, right? And you have a lot of plans for the future. And, of course, we're glad you're here on Wrestle Talk. And fans, we look just the same right here, except for the hair. That's a minor misconception there, but the hair, yeah, there we go. But anyways, Alex, you're driving Dave home. You're his protection tonight.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I tell you, I need it, and son, tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't know anything about you there. Good grades, right? Straight A's?
Sure.
That's what you told your mom to tell me, but
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah, tell us some more about yourself there.
I honestly don't know where to start. I'm 18.
All right. What's
Yeah.
grown?
And I can't believe you've grown up so fast. Of course, we went to the wrestling shows for several years, and you were just a little guy, but now you're 18. I couldn't believe it when I saw you earlier today. So we heard that you have a shout-out that you want to give out here on Wrestle Talk, and who's that to?
That shout out is to my girlfriend, Emma.
Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Wait,
You
don't know about
sly
her?
dog. What in the world? Well,
That girl. I think he's sweet on you.
yeah.
She's cute. I like her. She's a
What's
good
her name?
Emma.
one.
Emma. Well, Emma, hello from all of us at Wrestle Talk, and most importantly, hello from Alex here. Alex, we got one more viewer now. That's good.
Yep.
Well, wrestling fans, we certainly appreciate Alex being here. Alex, we have a lot of memories, of course, over the years with wrestling, and we know that you've gone to wrestling for a long time, but who is one of your favorite wrestlers that stand out from all the shows you've been to?
Well, let's see if Dad remembers my favorite one. What is your guess? It's an oldie, kind of.
Okay.
TXW, I think.
That was back in your day. Yeah.
That was back in my day.
Yeah.
Well, until you said that, I was going to say Scar or Shane Williams. That was Sissy's. Shane Williams, she liked the King.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not
That was
Scar.
good. No,
TXW, man, there's so many guys
I
there.
think he was in. Actually, he was definitely in Saw.
Saw.
Definitely in Saw. I'm not too sure about TXW now.
Trooper T's.
Yeah, but
That's what you used to call it. Trooper
T.
T's.
Well, I remember one time Trooper T told you to always keep your hair sharp. And your hair's not grown out like Dave Jones's has, but his hair is sharp still, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Alex, thank you. Man, brings back so many memories. Trooper T of all people.
Trooper T.
A lot of memories with him, a lot of shows with him, of course, especially in Seymour, Tennessee. But
That's right,
lots of memories. And Alex, I can't believe it. You've grown up a lot, and we appreciate you joining us here tonight. We hope you'll be on Wrestle Talk more often. And yeah, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
also one more hello to
Emma
tonight.
Emma.
Well, wrestling fans, the old clock on the wall unfortunately says it's time to go, but thank you for joining us tonight here on Wrestle Talk. We want to remind you that you can purchase the Big Daddy Boo Memorial Event on DVD. That's all of the matches that took place this past October, including that Bull Run Brawl. You can send an email to agendavideo1 at yahoo.com. It's only $8 for the DVD. It's a 2-disc set, and you'll have all of the show there.
Say it again.
And that's agendavideo1 at yahoo.com. He did it pretty good there. And you'll have a chance to witness this right in your living room, all the action. Of course, we're coming back in March with more. Stay tuned for that. Also, we want to remind you that we have a brand new mini-series here on the Agenda Video page, and it's called Wrestle Talk After Dark. Wrestle Talk After Dark, and this takes you inside After Dark professional wrestling. And this week our topic is, of course, interesting and legendary referees. And Dave Jones is the host of this show. And Dave, I appreciate you having me on that show, by the way.
Well, anytime, JoJo.
But we're going to have a panel of Dave Jones, Jerry Thunder, Brandon Stone, and myself. And it's going to be a good show.
It's going to be those guys. Okay. Well, I'm sitting over there with you, right? You and me?
Yes.
Okay.
I heard that we're going to have you sit in a special place on that show. But you'll see it this week on Wrestle Talk After Dark.
Let's do the dating game going off style.
Yes.
Alex, you ready? 1.
From all of us at Wrestle Talk, good night, everyone.